Episode 03 Shi Naian rebuilds Liangshan Monastery. Lu Shishan causes chaos at Wuchai Mountain. The old man dragged Liu to a secluded place and said, "Good sir, you are quite bold. Even though there's a reward of 1,000 guan for capturing you clearly posted for everyone to see, why did you still go to read the notice? If it weren't for this old man encountering you, wouldn't you have been caught by the officials? The notice specifies your age, appearance, and address." Liu replied, "I won't hide it from you. It's because of your mother. On that day, when I returned to the Shaoyuan bridge, I happened to run into that scoundrel Song too. I fought him and ended up beating him to death with 3 punches. After that, I was on the run for 40 to 50 days, and unexpectedly, I ended up here. Why didn't you go back to Tokyo? Why did you come here?" Jian Lao said, "Kind sir, ever since you saved this old man, I found the courage and intended to return to Tokyo. However, fearing that this scoundrel might catch up and with no one to rescue me there, I decided not to go to Tokyo. On the way here, heading north, I encountered an old neighbor from the capital who was doing business here. I brought my father and daughter here. Having killed him, I married his daughter, and we formed a relationship with the wealthy Mr. Shao in this area, all thanks to your kindness. My daughter often speaks to him about your great kindness, and that Mr. Yuan also enjoys practicing with the spear and staff. He has mentioned it would be good if the kind sir could meet in person. How can I express my longing? Please come to my house in a few days, and we can discuss further." Liu and Jian La then proceeded together. Within half a mile of the entrance, they saw the old man lifting the curtain and shouting, "My son, the great benefactor is here." The young girl was dressed in rich and colorful attire. She came out and invited Liu to sit in the middle. She bowed as if performing a ceremony, lit candles, and said, "If it weren't for the sir's timely rescue, how could we have the fortune of today?" After the ceremony, they invited Captain Liu upstairs and said, "Kind sir, please go upstairs and have a seat." Liu replied, "No need for formality, I'm about to leave." Jian Lao said, "Since the sir is here, how can we let you leave so easily?" The old man took a staff wrap bundle and led them upstairs to sit. He instructed, "My son, accompany the sir and keep him company. I'll go arrange the meal." Liu said, "No need to trouble yourself, whatever is convenient." The old man said, "Captain, your kindness is unforgettable. Though the meal may be simple, it's nothing to be ashamed of." The woman detained Liu upstairs. Jian La came down and called a newly hired servant, instructing them to start a fire. The old man and the servant went to the market and bought fresh fish, tender chicken, stuffed goose, fat meat, and various fresh fruits. They prepared the food and set the table. Carrying the dishes upstairs, they placed 3 cups, 6 chopsticks, and arranged vegetables, fruits, and rice. The servant poured hot wine into the silver cups. The father and daughter took turns toasting, and Jian Lang knelt down to express his gratitude. Captain Liu said, "Old man, why such formality? It's too much for me." Jian Lang explained, "Kind sir, let me tell you. When this old man arrived here the other day, he wrote a red paper card, burned a stick of incense day and night, and both father and daughter bowed. Now that the sir has come in person, how can we not bow?" Liu replied, "Your sincerity is truly touching," and the 3 of them slowly enjoyed their meal and wine. As the evening approached, noises downstairs caught their attention. Captain Liu went to check and saw about 30 people downstairs, each holding white wooden sticks and shouting, "Bring the thief down." Among the crowd, an official on horseback yelled, "Don't let this criminal escape." Not recognizing the leader, Liu grabbed his stool and went downstairs. Jian La quickly waved his hands, shouting, "Don't use violence." The old man rushed downstairs and had a few words with the official on horseback. The official laughed and dispersed the group of 30 people, and they all went their separate ways. The official dismounted and entered the building. The old man asked Captain Liu to come down. The official immediately bowed upon seeing Liu and said, "Meeting in person is better than hearing about it. Captain, please accept my respects." Liu asked Jian Lao, "Who is this official? We're not acquainted, why did he come to pay respects?" The old man replied, "This is my son's employer, Mr. Shi Yuan Wei. Just now, he thought an unknown man was causing trouble upstairs, so he gathered some men to deal with it. I informed him, and he dispersed the group. Liu said, I see, mister. Yuan Wei is indeed considerate. Mister. Sha Yuan Wei invited Captain Liu upstairs again, and Jin Lao prepared more food and drinks to entertain them. Mister. Yuan Wei asked Liu to sit at the top, saying, I want to show respect. Captain, I've heard about your heroism, and it's truly fortunate to meet you today. Liu replied, I am just a simple man who has committed some sins. If Mr. Yuan Wei is willing to befriend me and finds any use for me, I am at your service. Miss Zhou. Sha Yuan Wei was delighted and inquired about the incident with Sang Ku, discussed some spear techniques, and they continued drinking until late at night. The next morning, Mr. Yuan Wei suggested, this place may not be safe. I'd like to invite Captain to stay at my estate for a while. Liu asked, where is your estate located? Mr. Yuan Wei replied, it's more than 10 miles away from here, in a place called Qibao Village. Liu agreed, that sounds good. Mr. Yuan Wei sent someone to the estate to bring another horse. Before noon, the horse had arrived, and Mr. Zhao invited Captain Liu to mount the horse while instructing the estate servant to carry their luggage. Liu bid farewell to Jin La and his daughter, and then he and Mr. Zhao mounted their horses. They rode side by side, discussing various matters on the way to Qibao Village. In a short time, they reached the front of the estate and dismounted. Mr. Zhao held Liu's hand and led him to the grassy hall, where they sat as honored guests. Meanwhile, they ordered a sheep to be slaughtered and prepared a feast for the evening, followed by arrangements for the guest rooms. The next day, they prepared another feast to entertain Liu. Liu said, Mr. Yuan Wei, how can I repay your kindness? Mr. Zhao replied, all within the 4 seas are brothers, there is no need to speak of repaying. They continued talking without dwelling on the matter. From that day on, Liu stayed at Mr. Zhao's estate for 5 to 7 days. One day, while they were casually conversing in the study, Jin Lao hurriedly arrived at the estate and went straight to the study to meet Mr. Zhao and Captain Liu. Finding no one else present, he said to Liu, kind sir, it seems this old man was overly concerned. After your last visit, there was a misunderstanding, and Mr. Yuan Wei led the estate servants to cause a commotion in the neighborhood. It was later resolved, but people are still suspicious. Yesterday, 3 or 4 officials came to inquire in the neighborhood, and they might come to the village to apprehend you. If any mistakes occur, what should we do? Liu replied, in that case, I'll leave on my own. Mr. Zhao said, if we keep Captain here, it might create unnecessary trouble, and he might resent it. If Captain leaves, it won't look good on many fronts. Zhao has a solution. Let Captain stay to ensure safety. I'm just afraid Captain might not agree. Liu said, I'm a condemned man, and if I find a place to stay, I'm fine with it. Why would I refuse? Mr. Zhao said, if that's the case, it's excellent. About 30 miles from here, there's a mountain called Wuchai Mountain. On the mountain, there's a monastery called Wenchu Monastery, originally a place for Manushui Bodhisattva's practice. The monastery houses 500 to 700 monks with the Venerable Seisan as the abbot, who is my brother. My ancestors donated money to the monastery, making them patrons. I had promised to ordain a monk in the monastery and have already purchased the document for that purpose. The only thing missing is a willing individual. If Captain is willing, all expenses will be covered by me, Zhao. Would Captain consider becoming a monk? Liu thought, if I have to leave now, where would I go? It might be better to take this path. He replied, since Mr. Yuan Wei has decided, I am willing to become a monk. I will rely on Mr. Yuan Wei for guidance. The decision was made that night, and they quickly packed clothes, money, and some gifts. The next morning, they set out for Wuchai Mountain, with the estate servant carrying their belongings. They arrived at the foot of the mountain early in the morning. Mr. Zhao and Captain Liu were carried up the mountain in sedan chairs, while a servant went ahead to announce their arrival. Upon reaching the temple, monks and officials came out to greet them. They alighted from the sedan chairs and sat in a pavilion outside the mountain gate. Upon hearing the news, Abbot Zisan, along with the monks, came out to welcome them. Mr. Shang and Lu badged them. Abbot Zisan greeted them and said, "Traveling from afar is not an easy journey." "Mr. Sha replied, "It's a small matter, and I have come to pay respects at the temple." Abbot Zisan said, "Please, Mr. Yuan Wei, have tea." Mr. Shao walked ahead and Liu followed. They arrived at the abbot's quarters together. The abbot invited Mr. Shao to sit in the guest seat. Liu went to sit on the meditation chair below. Mr. Shao whispered to Liu, "Since you're here to be ordained, why did you sit on the floor in front of the abbot?" Liu replied, "I wasn't aware." He then stood beside Mr. Shao. In front, the head monk, venerable attendants, temple supervisors, guest attendants, and scribe were ranged into rows from east to west. The servant arranged the sedan chairs, and they brought the gift boxes into the abbot's quarters, placing them in front. The abbot said, "Why bring more gifts? There are already many offerings from the patrons in the temple." Mr. Shao said, "Just a small token of appreciation." Monks, novices, and attendants took the gifts away. Mr. Shao stood up and said, "I have a matter to discuss with the venerable abbot. I, Sha, have long harbored the wish to ordain a monk at this temple. The documents for ordination are ready, and today we have this younger cousin, surnamed Liu, from the inland region. Seeing the hardships of the secular world, he willingly wishes to renounce the world and become a monk. I hope the venerable abbot will accept him with great compassion. In consideration of my humble request, please shave his head and ordain him as a monk. I will provide all necessary resources. I sincerely hope the venerable abbot will fulfill my wish." The abbot responded, "This is an auspicious occasion for our monastery. It is indeed easy, indeed easy. Please have some tea." A servant brought out tea. After tea, the abbot took back the teacup and called the head monk and the venerable to discuss the ordination of Liu. He instructed the temple supervisors to prepare the vegetarian meals. The head monk and other monks went aside to discuss, saying, "This person doesn't look like someone seeking ordination. His eyes seem fierce and dangerous." The monk said, "Knowledgeable attendant, invite the guest to sit on the floor, and we will discuss it with the abbot." The attendant went out to invite Mr. Shao and Liu to sit on the floor in the guest house. The head monk and the other monk said, "The person who wanted to ordain has an ugly and wicked appearance. We should not ordain him, fearing it might bring trouble to the temple." The abbot said, "He is the patron of Mr. Sha Yuanwei. How could we save face and turn him away? You all, don't that, let me have a look." Burning a stick of incense, the abbot sat in meditation on the meditation chair, chanting mantras and entering a state of concentration. After the incense burned, he returned and said to the monks, "Go ahead and ordain him. This person corresponds to a celestial star, and his heart is a pride. Although he may appear fierce and obstinate now, in the future, he will attain purity. His enlightenment is extraordinary, surpassing all of you. Remember my words and do not obstruct." The head monk said, "The abbot is just being biased. We have no choice but to follow him. Advising against it won't work. If we advise him, he won't listen." The abbot called for a meal after Mr. Sha and Liu finished their meditation. After the meal, the temple supervisor prepared the ordination certificate. Mr. Sha took out silver coins and instructed someone to buy materials. At the temple, they made monk shoes, monk robes, monk hats, kasaya, and other requisites. Everything was ready in a day or two. The abbot chose an auspicious day and time, and the bells and drums rang as they gathered in the Dharma hall. About 500 to 600 monks, all wearing kasayas, gathered into rows, bowing respectfully under the Dharma seat. Mr. Sha presented silver ingots, both sides of the prayer beads, and incense, bowing in front of the Dharma seat. After the decoration and the shaving ritual, the attendant led Liu to the Dharma seat. The venerable instructed Liu to remove his head covering and tie his hair into 9 sections, binding them together. The person responsible for shaving first shaved the surrounding area and then moved to shave the beard and mustache. Liu De said, "Leave this, it might be useful for me." The monk couldn't help but suppress their laughter. The abbot on the Dharma seat said, "Listen to the verse, everyone." He recited, "Not leaving a single blade of grass, purity of the 6 senses, shaving it all off, avoiding contention and strife." After reciting the verse, the abbot shouted, "Ha! Shave it all." With one stroke, the shaver shaved everything off. The head monk presented the ordination certificate to the abbot and asked for a Dharma name. The abbot held the empty ordination certificate and recited the verse, "A spotted divine light, worth 1,000 gold pieces. The Buddha's teachings are vast, bestowing the name wisdom depth." After giving the Dharma name, the abbot handed the ordination certificate to Liu De. The scribe monk filled out the ordination certificate and handed it to Liu De. The abbot then bestowed the monastic robe on Gesaya, instructing Liu De to put them on. The temple supervisor guided him to the front of the Dharma seat, where the abbot patted his head, made a record, and said, "Firstly, take refuge in the Buddha nature. Secondly, take refuge in the true Dharma. Thirdly, take refuge in the Sangha." These are the 3 refuges. The 5 precepts are: do not kill, do not steal, do not engage in sexual misconduct, do not consume intoxicants, and do not speak falsehoods. After receiving the precepts, Wisdom Dab didn't understand the answers can or cannot at the precept order, but he replied, "I remember." The monks burst into laughter. After the ceremony, Shi Naian invited the monks to the quiet hall, where they burned incense and made offerings. Various monks and officials presented congratulatory gifts. The temple supervisor led Wisdom Dab to pay respects to the senior and junior monks, then took him to the back of the temple to select a meditation seat. There were no events that night. The next day, Shi Naian had to leave, bidding farewell to the abbot and the monks. After the morning meal, the monks escorted Shi Naian to the mountain gate. Shi Naian said with folded hands, "Elders, masters, please be compassionate. My brother Wisdom Dab is a simple and straightforward person. If he has been disrespectful or violated any rules, I hope you can forgive him." The abbot reassured him, "Yuan, don't worry, I will personally guide him in chanting scriptures, practicing meditation, and following the path." Shi Naian said, "I will repay you kindness in the future." In the crowd, he called Wisdom Dab under a pine tree and advised him quietly, "Dear brother, things will be different for you from today onwards. Be mindful of the precepts and don't be reckless. If not, it will be hard for us to meet again. Take care, take care. I will send someone to deliver clothes to you." Wisdom Dab replied, "I will follow my brother's advice." Shi Naian bid farewell to the abbot and others, boarded the sedan, led his servants, took an empty sedan, carried a box, and descended the mountain to return home. The abbot and the monks returned to the temple. As for Wisdom Dab, he went back to the meditation seat in the woods and lay down to rest. Chan has he tried to wake Wisdom Dab, saying, "You cannot sleep if you are to become a monk. You must learn to meditate." Wisdom Dab replied, "I sleep by myself. What business is it of yours?" Chan has he said, "Well said." Wisdom Dab scolded, "Round fish, I eat and enjoy it. What is there?" Said, "It's bitter." Wisdom Dab replied, "Round fish has a big belly, and is fat and sweet. How can it be bitter?" Ignoring him, Chan Hasi and the others left him to sleep. The next day, they wanted to inform the abbot about Wisdom Dab's rudeness. The head monk advised. The abbot mentioned that he later achieved extraordinary enlightenment, surpassing us all. "We're just being protective. Don't argue with him, tolerate it for now." Chan Hasi went to report this to the abbot. Wisdom Dab, realizing that nobody was confronting him, continued to sleep carelessly. Every night, he sprawled on the meditation seat, snoring loudly, and in the mornings, he acted strangely. He urinated and defecated behind the Buddha hall, making a mess. A servant reported, "Wisdom Dab is very disrespectful. He lacks the demeanor of a monk. How can we tolerate such a person in the temple?" The abbot scolded, "Nonsense. Watch the patron's face, he will change his behavior." Since then, no one dared to speak up. Wisdom Dab continued his unruly behavior for 4 or 5 months. One clear day in early winter, he dressed in monk's attire and walked out of the mountain gate. He sat in a pavilion halfway up the mountain, contemplating. In the past, I enjoyed meat every day, and now, as a monk, I'm starving. Sha Yuanwei hasn't said anything to eat for days. How can I get some wine to drink? While contemplating, he saw a man approaching with a carrying pole and singing. The man carried a covered bucket, and in his hand, he held a scoop. He sang, 9 miles ahead, a battlefield, a shepherd boy finds old weapons. The wind lifts the water of the Wujian River, resembling Yuji bidding farewell to the warlord. Wisdom Depth watched as the man approached with the carrying pole and the bucket. The man rested in the pavilion, and Wisdom Depth asked, Hey, what's in your bucket? The man replied, Good wine. Wisdom Depth inquired, How much for a bucket? The man said, Monk, are you really playing wrong? Wisdom Depth retorted, What nonsense are you talking about? The man explained, I only sell this wine to the temple's pyrotechnicians, monks, administrators, sadan carriers, and old hand for their daily use. The senior monks have issued an order. If we sell it to monks, we will be punished, and they will chase us out, demanding repayment of the funds and evicting us. Seeing that the temple controls the funds and shelters us, will we dare to sell to you? Wisdom Depth asked, Really not selling? The man replied, Even if you kill me, I won't sell. Wisdom Depth said, I won't kill you, I just want to buy some wine from you. The man, realizing Wisdom Depth was not a temple monk, carried his bucket and walked away. Wisdom Depth descended from the pavilion, grabbed the carrying pole with both hands, and with one swift kick, he kicked the man in the crotch. The man squatted on the ground, holding himself with both hands, unable to get up. Wisdom Depth placed the 2 buckets of wine on the pavilion and, picking up the scoop, opened the bucket lids. He started scooping and drinking the cold wine right there. Without any delay, Wisdom Depth finished one of the 2 buckets of wine. He declared, Man, come to the temple tomorrow to collect money. The man, still in pain and fearing the temple's repercussions, decided to split the remaining wine into 2 buckets. He carried one and left the other with Wisdom Depth, then swiftly descended the mountain with his tools. Wisdom Depth sat in the pavilion for half a day, and as the effects of the wine intensified, he moved to the base of a pine tree to rest. Wine continued to surge within him. He took off his monk robe, tied the sleeves around his waist, revealing the embroidered patterns on his back, and fanned himself with his arms as he ascended the mountain. Approaching the mountain gate, the 2 gatekeepers saw him from a distance, holding bamboo brushes. They intercepted Wisdom Depth and shouted, You're a disciple of the Buddhist faith. How can you be drunk and climb the mountain? Can't you see the posted notice? Any monk breaking precepts and drinking alcohol will receive 40 bamboo lashes and be expelled from the temple. If the gatekeepers allow a drunken monk to enter, they will be punished with 10 lashes. Descend immediately, and we'll spare you a few bamboo lashes. Wisdom Depth, partly due to his new monk identity and partly due to his old habits, opened his eyes wide and cursed, You damn rogues! If you dare to mess with me, I'll fight you. Seeing the situation turning unfavorable, one gatekeeper Heidi went to report to the supervisor, while the other cautiously approached with the bamboo brush to block Wisdom Depth. Using his hand to deflect the attack, Wisdom Depth spread his fingers and delivered a slap to the gatekeeper's face, causing him to stagger and struggle. A follow-up punch knocked him down at the mountain gate, wailing in pain. Wisdom Depth sneered, I spared you this time. He staggered into the temple, and upon hearing the gatekeeper's report, a group of temple workers armed with wooden sticks rushed out to confront Wisdom Depth. Seeing them, Wisdom Depth roared like thunder, and it seemed like lightning flashed from his mouth. He rushed towards them. Initially unaware of his military background, the group retreated into a hidden hole as Wisdom Depth advanced. Upon realizing the severity, they closed and secured the gate. With a mighty step, Wisdom Depth reached the steps, delivering punches and kicks to break the lock on the gate. In the abbot's quarters, Wisdom Depth followed the attendant. The abbot said, Wisdom Depth, your actions yesterday caused quite a disturbance. This behavior is unacceptable in our temple. Although you claim to have consumed only 2 bowls of wine, you led to chaos and violence. This goes against the principles of a Buddhist monk. What do you have to say for yourself? Wisdom Depth, still reeling from the effects of the wine, scratched his head and replied, Old monk, I had a bit of wine, and those temple folks provoked me first. I couldn't let them get away with it. The abbot sighed and said, Wisdom Depth, you need to restrain yourself. As a monk, you must adhere to the precepts and maintain discipline. Your past as a military man shouldn't influence your current behavior. We are here to cultivate inner peace and alignment, not to engage in fights. Wisdom Depth grumbled, Old monk, I've left my military days behind, but these folks provoked me. If they dare to mess with me, we'll fight back. I don't care about these rules and precepts. The abbot, understanding the challenging nature of Wisdom Depth, decided to let him go with a warning. Wisdom Depth, you need to control your temper. Violence has no place in our temple. If you continue like this, it will only bring trouble. Try to reflect on your actions and find peace within yourself. With that, Wisdom Depth was dismissed from the abbot's quarters. As he walked away, he mumbled to himself, These temple folks better not mess with me again. I'll give them a taste of my fists. The abbot, concerned about the impact of Wisdom Depth's presence in the temple, decided to seek guidance from higher authorities on how to handle the situation and maintain peace within the sacred grounds of the monastery. The elder said, Although you, Shi Shen, have a martial background, today, under the patronage of Mr. Sha, you have been ordained. I have conducted the head-touching ceremony and recorded your initiation. I instruct you, firstly, do not take life, secondly, abstain from stealing, thirdly, avoid indulging in inappropriate relationships, fourthly, refrain from alcohol, and fifthly, speak the truth. These are the common principles of the monastic community. The foremost prohibition for a monk is to avoid alcohol. Yet, how did you get heavily drunk last night, causing trouble by assaulting the gatekeeper, damaging the red lacquered incense burner in the hidden hall, and driving away the pyrotechnic monks? Your loud shouts and disruptive behavior are unacceptable. Lu Shishin knelt down and said, I won't dare to repeat such actions. The elder continued, Since you've chosen the monastic path, how did you break the prohibition against alcohol and disrupt the monastery's rules? If not for Mr. Zha's sponsorship, I would have expelled you from the temple. Don't repeat such mistakes in the future. Liu Shishin got up, palms together, and said, I won't dare. I won't dare. The elder detained him in the abbot's quarters, provided him with breakfast, and offered kind words of advice. He gave Liu Shishin a set of fine robes and a pair of monk shoes, instructing him to return to the monk's quarters. It's commonly said that one should not indulge excessively in drinking, as alcohol can either lead to success or ruin one's prospects. Even those with a timid disposition might become bold under the influence of alcohol, let alone someone with a strong nature like Liu Shishin. After the incident of getting drunk and causing a disturbance, Liu Shishin refrained from leaving the temple for 3 to 4 months. However, one warm day in February, he decided to venture out and explore the marketplace below the mountain. As he descended, he heard the lively sounds of the marketplace carried by the wind. Observing the town, he noticed various vendors selling meat, vegetables, and establishments offering alcohol and noodles. Liu Shishin regretted not coming down earlier to purchase some food. He heard the rhythmic sounds of a blacksmith at work and noticed a sign on the adjacent building, Father and Son Guest House. Approaching the blacksmith shop, he asked, Hey, blacksmith, do you have good steel and iron for sale? The blacksmith, noticing Liu Shishin's newly shaved face and long, unkempt hair, appeared somewhat frightened by his fierce appearance. The blacksmith paused and said, Master, please have a seat. What kind of tools do you need? Shishin replied, I want you to forge a Chan staff and a 1-foot precept knife for me. Do you have good quality materials? The blacksmith, known as the awaiting decree, said, I have some excellent iron here. How heavy do you want the Chan staff and precept knife to be? Just let me know your specifications. Shishin stated, I want a Chan staff weighing 100 kadis. The blacksmith chuckled, That's quite heavy, master. I'm afraid it might be too much. Even Guan Yu's Green Dragon Crescent Blade weighed only 81 kadis. Shishin impatiently responded, I'm not as good as Guan Yu. He's just an ordinary person. The blacksmith advised, based on what I know, you can only handle a staff weighing around 40 to 50 kgs, and that would already be considered quite heavy. Shi Shen insisted, you don't understand. I want it heavier than Guan Yu's at 81 kgs. The blacksmith reasoned, Master, if it's too heavy, it won't look good and it might not be practical for you. I suggest 60 to kg watermill chan staff. If you find it difficult to handle, don't blame me. As for the precept knife, no need to worry, I'll use the best iron for that. Shi Shen asked, how much for both items? The blacksmith replied, I won't haggle. It will be 5 taels of silver. Shi Shen agreed, I'll pay you 5 taels of silver. If the work is well done, I might reward you more. The blacksmith took the silver and said, I'll start working on it now. Shi Shen added, I have some additional silver here. Use it to buy a bowl of wine for yourself. The blacksmith, noticing Lu Shishen's newly shaved face and long, unkempt hair, appeared somewhat frightened by his fierce appearance. The blacksmith paused and said, Master, please have a seat. What kind of tools do you need? Shi Shen replied, I want you to forge a Chan staff and a 1-foot precept knife for me. Do you have good quality materials? The blacksmith, known as the awaiting decree, said, I have some excellent iron here. How heavy do you want that Chan staff and precept knife to be? Just let me know your specifications. Shi Shen stated, I want a Chan staff weighing 100 kgs. The blacksmith chuckled, that's quite heavy, master. I'm afraid it might be too much. Even Guan Yu's green dragon, crescent blade weighed only 81 kgs. Shi Shen impatiently responded, I'm not as good as Guan Yu. He's just an ordinary person. The blacksmith advised, based on what I know, you can only handle a staff weighing around 40 to 50 kgs, and that would already be considered quite heavy. Shi Shen insisted, you don't understand. I want it heavier than Guan Yu's at 81 kgs. The blacksmith reasoned, Master, if it's too heavy, it won't look good, and it might not be practical for you. I suggest a 62 kg watermill chan staff. If you find it difficult to handle, don't blame me. As for the precept knife, no need to worry, I'll use the best iron for that. Shi Shen asked, how much for both items? The blacksmith replied, I won't haggle. It will be 5 taels of silver. Shi Shen agreed, I'll pay you 5 taels of silver. If the work is well done, I might reward you more. The blacksmith took the silver and said, I'll start working on it now. Shi Shen added, I have some additional silver here. Use it to buy a bowl of wine for yourself. Shi Shen insisted, I don't care about that. Quickly bring the wine. Seeing Lu Shishen's appearance and hearing his distinctive voice, the innkeeper asked, how much wine do you want? Shi Shen replied, don't bother with the quantity, just keep pouring in the big bowls. After consuming our Yangtan bowls, Shi Shen inquired, do you have any meat? Bring a plate for me to eat. The innkeeper said, we had some beef earlier, but it's all sold on. Shi Shen smelled a delicious aroma and discovered a pot on the side containing a cooked dog. He exclaimed, I see you have dog meat. Why didn't you sell it to me? The innkeeper explained, I thought you were a monk and wouldn't eat dog meat, so I didn't mention it. Shi Shen declared, here is the in silver. He handed over some silver to the innkeeper and said, sell me half of it. The innkeeper quickly fetched half of the cooked dog meat, added some minced garlic, and placed it in front of Shi Shen. Delighted, Shi Shen used his hands to tear the dog meat and dipped it in the garlic paste, devouring it. He consumed another 10 bowls of wine. With his appetite satisfied, Shi Shen showed no signs of stopping. The innkeeper was astonished and exclaimed, Monk, you're unbelievable. Shi Shen opened his eyes and said, you're not giving me the wine for free. What does it matter to you? The innkeeper asked, how much more do you want? Shi Shen said, bring another bucket. The innkeeper reluctantly scooped another bucket. Shi Shen, without moving, consumed the contents of this bucket as well. The only remaining item was a dog leg, which he stuffed into his pocket. As he was about to leave, he added, keep the extra silver. I'll come again tomorrow for more. The innkeeper was dumbfounded, not knowing what to do. He watched as Shi Shen headed towards Mount Wuchai. Shi Shen reached the pavilion halfway up the mountain, sat down, and once again the wine surged within him. Jumping to his feet, he declared, "It's been a while since I stretched my limbs and kicked. I feel tired all over. Let me try a few moves." Descending from the pavilion, he grabbed the sleeves and swung them around, showcasing his strength. With a forceful strike, he hit one arm against the pavilion's pillar, creating a loud cracking sound. The pavilion collapsed, and as the doorkeepers heard the noise from the half-mountain away, they observed Lu Shishin rapidly ascending the mountain. The gatekeepers exclaimed, "Oh no! This beast is drunk again!" They shut the mountain gate and secured it. Peering through a gap in the door, they saw Shishin approaching the gate. Upon realizing it was closed, he pounded on it with his fists. The gatekeepers didn't dare to open the gate. Shishin pounded on the door repeatedly, then turned around, inspected the statue of Vajrapani on the left, and shouted, "You big man, why aren't you knocking on the door for me? Instead, you're holding your fists, trying to scare me. I'm not afraid of you." Jumping onto the platform, he effortlessly pulled a lever, and the door opened as if it were a spring onion being peeled. Grasping a broken piece of wood, he aimed for the legs of the Vajrapani statue and began striking. The melon colors fell off like scales. The gatekeepers witnessed this and exclaimed, "Oh no!" They had no choice but to report to the senior monk. After waiting for a while, Shishin turned around and looked at the Vajrapani on the right, shouting, "You open your big mouth and laugh at me." Shishin reached the Chan master's meditation platform, making a gurgling sound in his throat before vomiting on the floor. The monks couldn't bear the stench and exclaimed, "Well done." They covered their noses and mouths. Shishin, having vomited, climbed onto the meditation platform and tied his robe, ripped off his straight robe, belt, and everything else, taking off the dog's leg he had chucked away. Shishin, good. I was really hungry. He started eating. The monks, witnessing this, covered their faces with their sleeves. The two Chan masters on the shoulders kept a safe distance. Shishin noticed them avoiding him and pulled a piece of dog meat, saying to the monk at the top, "Why aren't you joining in?" The monk at the top covered his face with both sleeves. Shishin asked, "Aren't you eating?" He shoved the meat towards the monk's mouth. The monk at the top tried to move away, but Shishin caught him, grabbed his ear, and forced the meat into his mouth. As 4 or 5 monks rushed over to intervene, Shishin abandoned the dog meat, picked up his fists, and started pounding the monk's shaved head. The entire assembly of monks shouted in horror, and many of them went to their cabinets to retrieve their robes and alms bowls, preparing to leave. This chaos is called the Great Scattering in the Hall. The abbot couldn't restrain him. Shishin kept on fighting. Most of the monks fled from the hall. The abbot, the supervisors, without informing the elder, summoned a group of monks in various roles. They also enlisted the old servants, the fireworks monk, the dark hall attendants, and sedan carriers. About 100 to 200 people armed with staffs, forks, and clubs gathered. They all wrapped their heads with handkerchiefs and rushed into the main hall. Shishin, with no weapons, entered the hall and overturned the old chair in front of the Buddha. He used the table legs, jutting out from the table, to strike the monks as he came out of the hall. The monks retreated to the corridor, dragging their clubs. Shishin, using the table legs as a weapon, swung them around. The monks quickly closed in on both sides. Shishin, in a fit of rage, swung in all directions, sparing only the ends. He continued his rampage until he reached the Dharma Hall. The abbot shouted, "Shishin, stop the violence. Monks, don't use force." Many people were injured on both sides, but when the abbot approached, they retreated. Shishin, seeing the monk dispersing, dropped the table legs and shouted, "Abbot, make the decision." By this time, he was 7 or 8 parts sober. The abbot said, "Shishin, your actions have endangered the life of an older monk. Last time, when you got drunk, you caused a disturbance, and I asked your brother Sha Yuanwei to inform you. He wrote a letter to discuss the matter with the monks. Now, you're once again drunk and disrespectful, disrupting the rules, destroying the pavilion, and damaging the vira. This is something we'll discuss later. You've caused the monks to scatter, and this is a grave offense. Our 5-Tai mountain is a pure place for the practice of Mao Niushui, Bodhisattva, maintaining its tranquility for thousands of years. Shi Shen followed the abbot to the abbot's quarters. The elder said, "While I have the attendants keep the Zen guests, I will return to the meditation hall and try to heal the wounded monks myself." The elder took Liu Shishen to rest in the abbot's quarters overnight. The next day, after discussing with the senior monk, the elder arranged some silver and sent messengers to inform Sha Yuanwei about the incident. The elder promptly wrote a letter and dispatched two attendants directly to Sha Yuanwei's estate to report the matter and await a response. Upon receiving the letter, Sha Yuanwei was displeased but replied, expressing his willingness to cover the expenses for repairing the damaged items, including the broken statue and pavilion. He acknowledged the elder's instructions and authorized them to deal with Liu Shishen. Receiving the reply, the elder ordered a servant to fetch a monk's robe, a pair of monk shoes, 10 silver coins, and summon Liu Shishen to the room. The elder said, "Liu Shishen, your previous drunkenness disrupted the tranquility of the monastery. In this time you've not only broken the statue and pavilion, but also caused chaos in the Bida Hall, injuring fellow monks. Your offenses are not light. Considering the sanctity of our monastery, I cannot tolerate such behavior. I have prepared these items for you, and you are to find a new place to settle. Report to Sha Yuanwei as instructed." The elder then composed 4 verses, pointing at Liu Shishen, conveying a message about his future path, martial prowess, and the consequences of his actions. The elder concluded by emphasizing that Liu Shishen should consider Sha Yuanwei's fate and find a suitable place to settle. Please listen to the next episode. The little overlord staggers into the gold pavilion, and the flower monk creates a ruckus in the peach blossom village.